Yeah, I'm right back at you like I never left, and I'm gonna go this hard to my last breath. Salute Kenny Russell, Canoe, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in the room. You know I'm dealing with Canoe. I'm here. While I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear because a lot of y'all can't hear. Now, welcome back to Make My Ancestors Great Again. This is my thoughts 80 on the Pope. It says the Pope is Pope Francis and any other popes, Pope Benedict 11, Pope, any of these popes. Um, they have a thing that they do. They pray to the Black Madonna and Child. Why is that important? This is the concluding of last week. It's been about 7 or 8 days. I haven't been on here since last Thursday. It was a big storm where I stay, and it knocked all electricity out, internet, all that type of stuff. So I wasn't able to do videos until today. So now I'm appearing before you, and this is to conclude what type of God do you follow. So we found out that people um, let their gods that they follow meet all the criterias that they have, all their preferences, all the what they need, what they God accept, what they deem acceptable. What this is what people do when it comes to God. Okay, this is how the story goes. Now we found out that Shawnee's husband, he has a no nonsense God. We found out that Jesse Duplantis, he has a rich, oversized white man God. We found out that the Rastafarian, Tafari McKinnon, Haile Selassie, he's a God that people follow. You smoke a lot of marijuana, you don't have to, but that's the type of God that meets their criteria. Okay. Uh, then we found out about a gentleman named Royal Allah. He was his own God. So whoever followed him, he met the criteria that they wanted to see in themselves a God. The Pope, he goes, and all popes have been doing this. They go down in the catacombs of the Vatican, Saint Peter's Basilica. That's the church there inside the Vatican, and they go down in the catacombs. It's on the outskirts of Rome. They believe Peter, who built Jesus the Christ and all this stuff in the Bible. It's all tradition, never happened. He said, "I'm going to build my church on solid ground," and he put it in Peter. So they believe, excuse me, that under the catacombs, the outskirts of Rome, is Peter's grave. Okay, so they walk down the stairs and they go and they pay homage and they venerate to this Black Madonna and Child, right around the same uh, grave site and all that around the supposed tomb of Peter. And when you go, Peter is standing there at the stairs and he's leading you down to his tomb. There's nothing in there. It's even been said that in the scholar community, they excavated in the 50s and they tried to find this supposed Peter, and they concluded that it wasn't even close. It is bodies down there because it used to be burial grounds, but the bodies that they were digging up, it didn't even meet the time period, nowhere near. So this is concluding on what type of God do you follow, and at the end of it, I'm going to even let you know what type of God that I follow. Okay, so this is not to take God away from anyone. I just had to give you, let you know, give an account of myself. Where was I? Where have I been? Um, and let's get busy. This is not to take God away from anybody. This is to restore and rebuild spirituality. So this is the conclusion of what type of God you follow, and this is my thoughts on the Pope. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I thank you for watching. Let's see. That's the video. As you can look at his expression, he's in deep veneration. He's in deep focus. He's focused in. His mind is going deep because he understands that these are some of the first depictions of the mother and child. Okay, what am I saying? What do I mean by that? These people know history, number one, because it's also said in the scholar community that one of the popes from years ago said, "Oh, we know Jesus the Christ and all this stuff is made up, but I mean, we made out pretty good." I mean, you can look it up. One of the popes actually said these words. They know all about that. So he knows about his historical things. Okay. Number one, he knows how these different variations and depictions came down the line. That's number two. He understands that for the most part, if you're going to be as genuine as you can, the darker the better. Okay. So that's Poland. That's Czestochowa. Okay. He's down there and he's doing all this. It's in the public eye. Everything he does is in the public eye. And he's venerating, he's praying, he's in deep thought. He's trying to give all his homage to that image. Okay. Now, excuse me. If you look at his regalia and everything he got on, he has basically a yarmulke that lets you understand that that's Judaism when they wear the little, the Jews. Okay. Catholicism is there because he's a Catholic. Christianity is there because Catholicism and Christianity all mixed in one. So he's representing everything all in one. You can throw a little Islam in there somewhere if you want to go look at it. I'm sure you can connect all that because it all connects in one, like a big gumbo. Okay. So he's sitting there venerating something in his mind is one of the closest depiction that he's ever seen in this whole the variations of the way the Christ has got from this to that. So he's in front of one of the ones that he deems close to authentic or close to original. Okay. So the type of God that he follows, he is on God at the same time. You got to remember in the Vatican, they have a thing called the same, what is it called? What's I'm looking for the title of the name of it. Man, it escapes me. But anyway, he's the same thing. If you go look from back in the day, the Pope was the same thing as Christ. He's the same thing on the ground as he is in the sky. Okay. So it's called I forgot what it's called, but it's called the same as or the same air. That's what the term actually means. So the Pope is the same thing as Christ on the ground. If you go look that up in the ancient terms or whatever the case may be, and you'll understand that it means the same as. Okay. So the Pope is the type of God that people have to come around and worship and follow and pray to and things of that nature. But see, what type of God do he follow? That's the thing. If he's sitting there venerating to this black woman and this, well, they're dark skinned photographs. Okay, that's the number one. So people call it the Black Madonna child. If he's sitting there venerating to something that's dark skinned and the little baby is dark skinned, what type of understanding is that? Where did these depictions come from? You know, you can't just have a black mother and child and nobody else. I mean, if somebody put that together, had the origin had to stem from people that look like the original depiction. You understand where I'm coming from? Excuse me. So for him to be sitting there in his mind, that's the type of God that he followed. It meets the criteria very well because it's of the original depiction. It's some of the original essence of what that is. And it's called, the term I'm looking for is called the vicar. See, the Pope is the vicar of Christ, Vicar. I think that's what it is, vicar. And what that means or it might be Vicor, but I think it's Vicar. Vicar of Christ. That means the same as. Look it up. The Pope is the vicar of Christ. That means the same as Christ. He's Christ on the ground. Look these terms up, okay? Go get the original term, and you can see that the vicar means the same as. So he's Christ on the ground. So he's his own God in a sense in his body, but that's for the people to follow him. But what kind of God do he follow? He's sitting there praying to a black woman and a child. So you understand his mind has to go say, hey, the origins of these depictions is who I follow. And let me show you where the original came from. I want to show you what it looked like. Okay. That's the original right there. Okay. What you're looking at in Greek terms is called Isis and Horus. The original term and name for the lady is Aset and Heru. That's what you're looking at. This is the original depiction of the Black Madonna child. Okay. So when you get up there and he's venerating towards that one in Chesahawa, and it looks a little, it has keen noses and things like that, and it looks a little European, but the photograph is just dark. The hue is dark. That's all. This is merely and purely African. This is created by Africans for Africans. That's an African mother and that's an African child. This is the first depiction of any mother and child or Madonna and child on the planet. You can look that up. So, and remember, I told you all depictions of any type of gods in his original essence and his original aura was a dark-skinned color or African descent. Those are facts. So we concluded with what type of God do you follow, and that's my thoughts on the Pope. You can understand he's the vicar of Christ, which means he is Christ, but he follows something other than himself. If it looks like that, he know that he's not the original or the originator of it. Now, in my terms, if I'm going to have anything to follow, which I don't follow a man-made God, it would look like this. Okay, let me show you this again. It would look like this. Simple and plain. Okay, and what does that mean? That's the mother and child. If I had a God to worship, it probably would be my mother, okay, of essence. And my father also as my creators. Those will be my creators. You need the male and the female, which creates balance to create any type of human being, source or entity, okay? A female can't do it singularly and the male can't do it singularly. So when a person say, hey man, the man God did this and that, the man did, he made a man, and a woman made that's nonsense. You need both to create one. You need female and male to, so I don't follow any man-made gods. That right there, Isis and Horus, or Aset and Heru, those are depictions, spiritual depictions. Aset is a magician. She had that child through magic. Her husband was murdered, and she impregnated herself in essence to keep her virginity intact because they never had a child. This is where you get the Virgin Mary story from. So those spiritual depictions resonate with me because those are my African ancestors. And I'll take spirituality over man-made gods anytime, any day, anytime, any second. So that's the type of gods that I follow. If there were any, which I don't follow any, I have a spiritual understanding and I resonate with spirituality and spiritual symbols, if you will. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Khnum, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in the room. Be now dealing with Khnum. Yeah. This is what I do, and I love to do it. Before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. Again, this is not to take God away from anybody. We concluded with what type of God do you follow, and you have to ask yourself again, what type of God do you follow? This is what the question is out there for. It's up for dispute. It's up for scrutiny. It's up for people to put their comments in there. You can scrutinize anything that I put out. That's what it's for. What I say on here is not law. These are my thoughts and my opinions, and you might have other thoughts and opinions, and that's okay with me. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and I thank you for watching.